Alright, la gang, j'espère que vous êtes en forme. J'espère que vous êtes en feu. Moi, mon dos, puis tout ça, ça revient tranquillement. Mais la réalité, c'est que les derniers, peut-être 15 jours, peut-être même le dernier mois, peut-être même les derniers 3 mois, en tout cas, je me souviens plus quand est-ce que je n'ai pas eu de pression à grandir, quand est-ce que je ne me suis pas mis, en fait, de pression pour grandir. Puis la réalité de tout ça, c'est que grâce à cette pression-là, puis là, je veux vraiment que vous soyez avec moi, là, OK? Regardez-moi dans les yeux. Grâce à cette pression-là, c'est ce qui va me faire grandir. Depuis les 3 derniers mois, je m'efforce à rendre ma vision réalisable. OK? C'est à faire au courant des prochaines semaines, au courant des prochains jours, parce que la conférence est déjà demain. Ça représente la vision que j'ai eue dans les derniers 3 mois, dans les derniers 6 mois, dans la dernière année, 3 ans, 5 ans, whatever. Mais avec cette pression-là, puis avec cette croissance-là, puis avec l'atteinte de certains objectifs, ben, il faut redéfinir notre vision. Parce que si on la redéfinit pas, qu'est-ce qui se passe? On revient dans le mode défaut. Puis, soit votre vision est en mode normal, si on pourrait dire, en mode c'est par défaut ou par design, soit par défaut ou soit elle est par design. Ben, si vous la designez pas, puis si surtout vous prenez pas le temps de la design, ben, ce qui va se passer, c'est que vous allez redevenir en mode défaut et tranquillement, pas vite, sans même vous en rendre compte, peut-être même diminuer vos habitudes, diminuer votre business, diminuer votre engagement. Et qu'est-ce qui va se passer immanquablement? Les objectifs, les plateaux, votre vision va glisser entre vos mains. Donc aujourd'hui, we got Nate Justice. He is my mentor. He is the one that helped me grow my vision a lot. And that's why I asked him today the vision. It's not for you. It's for me. It's because it's where I am in my own business and in my own life right now. So when I ask Nate, I know it will be powerful for me. I really hope you take the time, take the notes, and especially you do the thing he says in order to elevate your vision. So Nate, my friend, it's your time to shine.
Hey guys, how you doing? So we're going to talk about something super important today. Okay, we're going to talk about vision. And there's this whole thing on a motorcycle, right? So I drive a motorcycle. I bought a motorcycle this year, and one of the big mistakes, so riding a motorcycle is a skill. First of all, you got to learn how to do it properly, okay? If you're trying to make a sharp turn, a classic mistake that a new driver will make on a motorcycle is that they won't turn their head in the direction that they want to go. So one simple little trick to a motorcycle is if you have to take a sharp corner, you turn your head, because where you're looking is where you're going to go. Where your vision is where you're going. So what I want us to all accept before we get going is that we're exactly where we are right now because of our vision. So we are either happy or unhappy with our life today because of our vision. We are either unhappy or happy with our business right now because of our vision. We are exactly where we need to be right now to have this call and this talk. Okay, because we're going to talk about elevating your vision and the importance of aiming really high. Okay, now I want to talk to you. I want to clear some things up here, because when I talk about vision, what everybody goes to right away is goals. They think that I want to achieve this rank by that rank. That's part of your vision. Okay, those little steps are part of your vision, but your vision is more like who you become, mind, body, spirit, by achieving those things. So it's one step above your goals, your vision for yourself. And here's the other thing. A vision doesn't count unless you clearly state it somewhere. So one thing we have to really focus on, I'm going back to it, is you have to really clearly write down what it is that you see yourself as, what it is your vision is for yourself. Before we started Prove It, before we started anything in this space, even in the fitness industry. I don't think we were in the fitness industry at that point. But I had written down in a book somewhere that I wanted to be an entrepreneur that travels around to cities and travels around and earns money that way, earns a living that way. And it was very vague in a way. It wasn't specific. Excuse me. It wasn't like, I need to learn X, Y, I need X, Y amount of money or anything like that. It was just kind of, I seen myself as this person, becoming this person that's impacting the world by traveling and by meeting people and by connecting people to great products, great resources. And this was way before Proven. And I opened it up and I looked at it, and there's a lot of power when you clearly articulate something, when you clearly write something down, especially when it has to do with yourself and your vision, because subconsciously what happens is you start looking in that direction. And just like on a motorcycle, where you look is where you're going to end up going. There's something written on the peace towers in the at the Canadian Parliament building. It's a scripture from the book of Proverbs, and it says, "Without vision, the people perish." Without vision, the people perish. So your vision is not just about you. Yes, you're going to go to it. Yes, you're going to think about it. But that particular quote's talking about the people around you will perish, right? The people that you're leading will perish. The people that you're trying to attract. You can bring life by your vision, or you can be like 99% of other people out there that don't even care, that just think that they go around their lives disappointed or numb because they've never really clearly said what they wanted. It doesn't mean they don't want anything though. Okay? Just because you haven't said what you want in your vision, just because you haven't created a vision for yourself, does not mean that you don't have wants, desires, expectations. But I'm just telling you, the only way to actually meet those expectations, those inner needs, that sense of, I have a life that has meaning and purpose, and through that life, I can achieve great things. Through that life, I can impact people around the world, okay? If you start believing that about yourself, if you actually start going in that direction, imagine what you're capable of doing. One thing that I've been very impressed with is the people around me that I've been surrounded myself with that are very successful. And I've had the privilege of being in the presence of a lot of successful people. And that is, they always inspire me to have a bigger vision. They always inspire me to think beyond just the tip of the iceberg. So what do you want? Not how do you get there, okay? Because what we focus on a lot is how you get there. And so you have to be open. Once you set your vision in motion, we're going to talk about that in a second. You have to be open to how it unfolds, okay? Because it's going to look different for everyone, and it's not going to, that's one expectation you actually have to let go of. You have to let go of how you think it's supposed to happen, okay? When I wrote down my vision of being a traveling entrepreneur and stuff like that, I had no idea that how it was going to unfold. But if I wasn't open to the process, if I wasn't open to things happening the way I didn't think necessarily that they should go, then I wouldn't be here today. But you set your vision in motion and be open to how it unfolds, because it unfolds different for everybody, and it often unfolds in ways that you least expect it. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So setting your vision is like setting your compass. Okay, you're gonna walk on a bearing, but you don't know. So if I'm out in the woods and I'm trying to navigate with a map and a compass, so I have my map and I have my compass, but then I get on the ground, and things look different when you're on the ground. There's a tree that's not on the map. There's a hole in the ground that wasn't on the map. Hey, there's an animal standing in front of me that wasn't on the map. But my bearing doesn't change. The plan doesn't change. The direction I'm going doesn't change. It looks different when you're on the ground. It looks different when you're actually walking forward through the forest on the way. That's how a vision works. You can lock on to a course. You can lock on to a direction, but you don't know what's in between you and where you want to go. That's where you have to trust it. That's where you have to walk through the process of creating your vision. Now, I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful things about a vision is it acts like it's not just like setting your compass. It actually acts like a magnet that pulls you. Okay. So your vision isn't just a direction that you walk in. It's a magnet that pulls you. Okay. And uncertain times, like we are in very uncertain times right now. I want you to know the only way to thrive in uncertain times, to thrive. I'm not talking just to make it through. I'm not talking about just to, I'm not talking about just to kind of like white knuckle it and, have trouble sleeping, but still paying your bills, still, doing your best to love your family. I'm talking about thriving. I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about like creating more when everybody else is has a scarcity mindset. This is what a vision can do for you. This is what a vision can do for you. Your vision, if you can elevate it above your situation, right? That's when you become a leader. If you can create a vision outside of the current paradigm that people are in. Do you know that there's many companies that have lost out on like tons of money because they refuse to break a paradigm? And a paradigm is just a certain way of thinking, right? A certain way of thinking. And we all have our paradigms. And there's been countless, Swiss watchmakers used to be the #1 watchmaker in the whole world. So if you want to buy a watch, you're going to buy a Swiss watch. Okay, this was in probably 1940s, 1950s. But then something came along called digital time. Digital time. And there came more than just the old Swiss style of watches, because it wasn't just Swiss watches. They had a certain way that they built them that that they're still classic watches, don't get me wrong, but they failed to innovate. They failed to think outside the box. They failed to create digital watches. They battery powered watches, all of these automatic self-winding watches. They just went with their old traditional method, and therefore Japan actually moved in and stole the watch industry from underneath them. And I'm talking about a watch industry that was dominated by the Swiss. Japan came in and stole it just because they dared to think outside the box. Nobody dared at that point. And Brian Underwood always talks about the 4-minute mile, right? Before that record was broken, it was like something that everyone was stuck under. It was like, man, like I can't achieve this, I can't achieve that, because it's never been done before. So if you really want to create an impact, you want to create a movement of people, if you want to get people going, because so many times people are like, especially leaders in this business, are like, how do I get people going? Well, the answer is, how is your vision? How's your vision? Are you emotionally connected to your vision? When's the last time you revisited your vision? When's the last time you've challenged your own vision? When's the last time you take a look at it and said, hey, wait a second, maybe my vision is not powerful enough to inspire me every single day, to bring that same excitement that I had at the beginning when I first started this conversation, when I first hit Go MVP and I started seeing a little bit of volume come in. And then I was excited because I was connected with my vision. Very, very important to not only just articulate your vision, but stay connected with it. Okay? Very important to remember this, that a vision is not a goal. Okay? A vision is not a goal. A goal is different. A vision is the means in which you achieve your goals. You achieve your goals as a byproduct of your vision. Okay? Yeah, the Goals are like check stops along the road. They're like check stops, and they're like gas stations along the road where you stop. Or if you're driving a Tesla, they're like charging stations. And you're going in the right direction, but you need to stop and fuel up. You need to celebrate. And then you need to get your butt back in the car and drive, because your vision doesn't stop. And I want to challenge you on this one too. So when you're creating a vision for yourself, and here's some things that I would think of. And okay, like I want to talk just briefly about pillars of belief, because this is a huge one too, especially because I know we have people at all walks of business, all walks of mindset here. So the pillars of belief is the vehicle in which you drive, okay? Vision is how you're going to get there. The pillars of belief, so prove it. This ketone conversation, right, is the vehicle in which we achieve our vision. That's why we're here. And it's a powerful vehicle. So if you have doubts in your vehicle, if you're like, man, I don't know if that thing's going to make it from here to there, I don't know if this thing's going to go, that's when you need to dig into the community. That's when you need to talk to some leaders. That's what you need to, so you need to be evaluating your pillars of belief. And I want to revisit those. What, do you believe in the product? Okay. Do you believe in the product? Do you need any? Probably not, because you probably don't have that doubt, because nobody really does, right? Ketones are amazing. And that's about it. Mic drop. So, and we've been doing this for 5 years. It's still the same, right? So it's like ketones, company, okay? Company. Can be a little challenging at this point in time. Haven't been around the environment of Prove It HQ. This is where you need a bigger vision, right? This is where you need to get creative. You need to plug into calls. You need to get on corporate stuff. You need to, get on the Facebook page. Just realize that you're a part of something that's way bigger than yourself. Okay. Number 3 is the industry. Okay. The industry, that can be a tricky one for people, but I promise you, it's one of the greatest industries that you can be in. It enables you to impact more people than you ever could by, working X amount for X amount, like we're all kind of trained to do. It's a way to maximize the impact that you make by creating a ripple effect that can go into around the world. Literally, you could give ketones to somebody who gives ketones to somebody who gives ketones to somebody in Barbados, right? And then all of a sudden they want to promote and they want to champion this conversation, and they take off, and all of a sudden you got a Barbados team Barbados. I want to go there. I want to do that event. When you're building your vision, okay? When you're building your vision, I want to give you some practical tips, because I just don't want to talk about it here. Abstract thought. I want to actually give you some instruction on how to create a vision for yourself. Okay. First of all, I want you to evaluate those pillars of belief. Okay. I want you to write I want you to write those 3 pillars of belief on a piece of paper. So write product, company, industry. Okay. And then I want you to give them a 1, 2, or 3 based on number 1 is the one that you struggle with the least. And go from there. And maybe if you can put 2 1s if you struggle with 2 the least, and 1, 2, whatever, it's not exact, okay? Because that's the vehicle that we're going to drive in. If the vehicle's broken, we can't really go anywhere, right? Okay, let's fix the vehicle. So if you got the vehicle fixed, then it's time to set the destination. Here's one tip that I'll give you for setting the destination. Make it infinite. Make it infinite. One of the biggest mistakes that I've made, and I'll share with you so you don't make the same mistake, is making finite goals. I want to hit rank so-and-so. I want to hit this. Because what happens when you hit it is like you've hit it, right? If that's your vision, then you have to recreate your vision. because, or I'll stop, right? So you need to create a vision that's more infinite. Like I'm going to impact the maximum amount of people I can every single day for the rest of my life. I'm just giving you examples. And through that, and you can even say, and through that, and that's where you can go into goals. And through this vision, I will hit rank 8. I will hit rank 9. I'll hit rank 10. Okay? But it's important to create the vision for yourself. And so not just about what you're doing, but it's about who you're becoming. Okay? So what kind of mom do you want to be? What kind of dad do you want to be? What kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of member of the community do you want to be? Where do you want to contribute? Okay? And then you can take a look back. You got the car set, you're starting to set the destination, and that destination's infinite. So you can keep going on this road trip for a long time. Because life's short anyway, right? We think about like, hey man, I don't know if I want to do this. And most people underestimate, and I forget who says this, they overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 5. So what if I told you today, it's going to take you 5 years to be successful at this, of working really, really hard. You're not going to see really amazing results for 5 years. What, would you quit? Okay, I'm not saying that's true or not, because I've seen people do it faster. I've seen people go at different paces, right? But if someone told you that with any opportunity, would you just give up? Because what people don't ask is, what's the alternative? So say it takes you some time to do something. What's the alternative? To quit? To not do anything? To go back to something that's not going to be able to give you some impact in the next 5 years? What we have laid at our feet is an amazing vehicle to go from to actually achieve our vision, to become who we want to be. Like one of the reasons I fell in love with this company is because we want to make people better, right? How simple is that? The journey to better never ends. The journey to better is an infinite goal. It's an infinite vision statement. You want to be a better mom, you want to be a better wife, you want to be a better partner, you want to be a better dad, you want to be a better trainer, you want to be a better worker, you want to be better. You got to create a vision for that. Try to think about it. And here's the other thing I will tell you about a vision is that make it bigger than you think. So after you write down your initial vision, I want you to take it up a notch. Grant Cardone, has the 10X rule where you 10X everything. And there's some psychology behind that, right? Because even if you don't 10X everything and you 8X everything, you're still going to be further ahead than the people who know X everything. Do you get it? You shoot for the stars and you might land on the moon. You've ever heard that saying before? Jordan Peterson says, aim as high as you possibly can. Because even if you miss and you're aiming really high, isn't that awesome? You know what I mean? Like, so say you're aiming at this huge lofty goal and you don't get there, but you get close. Are you still not winning? Right? Of course you are. Set that for yourself. Your vision is about you and who you become and how you're going to impact the world. So what I want to be very practical. I don't want to just be pumping you guys up on this one. What I want to happen here is I want you guys to evaluate your pillars of belief. I want you to set your vision, and then through your vision, I want you to talk about your goals. Okay? Because I'm going to become this type of person, I will hit this rank. I will hit this, because I'm going to be this type of leader. I can grow this team. I can get here. And another thing is, once you clearly articulate your vision, you're going to be able to see some things that need to go in your life. So Charles Poliquin, my mentor, told me, like, you're going to be known in this world by the things that you say no to. And I recently had to do this yesterday. I said no to something that one of the reasons I came out here, I spent a lot of time doing something, and I just took a step back because I was doing this vision thing, and I want to actually live out, some of the things that I'm talking about. And I was evaluating my own vision. I'm like, what do I want from this ketone conversation? What do I want with this business? And what's taking my time right now? And I've had to cut some things, very difficult things, in my life because they weren't serving my vision. They weren't serving who I want to become. So be prepared to cut some things. Be prepared to cut some things, but don't just cut the challenging things because they're challenging. Okay, that's a big mistake people make, because I need to stop doing that. Well, maybe you should maybe that thing is telling you you're not who you're supposed to become too. Use a mentor, use somebody in your life, because sometimes the difficult things are actually things that you need. Right? So what to say yes to, what to say no to, and clarity comes through having a vision. We need clarity in this time. Without vision, the people perish. And I think what has happened in mass with COVID and all of these restrictions and all of these things that are going down and all the division in society and all the depression and the mental health issues and stuff. And I know that the whole thing's complex, but one of the things is people have lost their vision for themselves. They've lost the ability to step back and say, who am I going to become through this process? What am I going to achieve through it? And who am I, and what is my ultimate goal for myself? Most people just kind of wake up in the morning, flip on their phones, and panic about what's being said on these little screens. You need to open your eyes. You need to see where you're going. You need to, some of you guys need to shut off the news. You need to shut off the negativity. You need to stop putting in the bad. How are you going to put in the bad all day and then get some good out of it? It's just not going to happen. Like, think about that. I'm going to put bad. That's like the guy that eats a bunch of junk food and wants to drink ketones and still, be chiseled, have a chiseled six pack. It's like, you can't eat donuts all day and drink ketones and have a six pack. Doesn't work like that. You can't get good water out of a bad well. You can't get good water out of a bad well. And so some of you guys need to take down these things that are cleaning your vision or messing up your vision. You need to get refocused. So my action step today would be to get in some quiet time. And 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can spare, phone off, no distractions, deep breath. And think about the kind of person that you want to become. Allow yourself to dream again. And vision involves imagination. Okay? Imagine who you could become. Imagine what you could be achieved. Do not be limited by your circumstances. Do not be limited by the way you were brought up or what people have said about you. Take some time, be quiet, clear everything out, clear the noise, clear the clutter, and think about what you can become, who you can become, because the world needs the person with the vision. Okay? The world needs leaders right now, and leaders have vision. And when you have a vision, it becomes contagious, because without vision, the people perish. So it's your responsibility for your family. It's your responsibility for your team. It's your responsibility for your community, your country, to get a vision for yourself. Okay? Hope that made sense, guys. So let's do that. Action step is get quiet. Let's fix our eyes on the things above, not on the things below. And I want to challenge you to elevate your vision today. Because I promise you that if you start looking and you look at where you want to go more than you look at where you don't want to go, you're going to end up there. But it all involves what you're looking at. What you seek, you will find. And we need to seek the highest, best version of ourselves. Anyway, let's not settle for
I
that.
love it. Thank you, my friend. For me first, and I think for the team as well. I will do a little translation for the people. Moi, la première chose qui me vient en tête, c'est penser à vous voulez aller à une destination, mais c'est la nuit, puis vous roulez dans le bois, puis vous allumez pas vos lumières. Ça, c'est une représentation de... Je vais me mettre comme ça pour voir. C'est une représentation de beaucoup de gens ces temps-ci. Puis le fait qu'il y ait un manque de vision, ceux qui ont une vision à long terme, ça va toujours penser de manière différente à ceux qui regardent juste leurs pieds. Puis ceux qui regardent leurs pieds se demandent toujours pourquoi est-ce que j'arrête pas de rentrer dans les murs? Pourquoi est-ce que j'arrête pas de rentrer dans les arbres? C'est parce que premièrement, les lumières sont pas allumées. Puis deuxièmement, il n'y a pas de destination. Vous n'avez pas seté votre GPS. Ou comme Nate l'a dit, vous devenez l'aimant. Donc votre vision, c'est comme votre, je pourrais dire, boussole. Puis c'est vous qui va être capable d'être attiré par votre vision. Puis au même titre que les autres personnes que vous pluguez, vous leur montrez à la limite votre boussole, ils vont être attirés par cette boussole-là. Vous devenez un espèce de pôle nord. Quelque chose qui est super stable sur lequel les autres peuvent toujours compter. Puis qu'est-ce qui se passe dans ces moments-là? Ben, à un certain moment donné, en restant souvent avec la vision, avec sa propre vision, puis en continuant de la faire grandir, ben, les autres commencent à l'attraper aussi, cette vision-là. Ce qui vous permet de créer une vision encore plus grosse, avec encore plus d'impact. Il y a plus de gens qui sont pas dans le quoi faire, dans le comment je fais pour me rendre là. Mais dans le comment je fais pour me rendre là, ce qui se passe, c'est qu'ils n'ont pas leur destination en premier. Fait qu'ils tournent en rond. Comment. Faire. Mais la réalité, c'est qui tu veux devenir. Pourquoi tu veux le devenir? Qu'est-ce que tu veux faire? Qu'est-ce que tu te vois faire? Qu'est-ce que tu vois les autres personnes autour de toi faire? C'est quoi l'impact que tu peux avoir dans le monde? Si tu n'as pas cette vision-là, qu'est-ce qui va se passer? Tu vas redevenir par défaut. Par défaut, c'est quoi? C'est d'être normal. Puis vous me dites toujours qu'il n'y a pas personne qui va être normal ici. La réalité, c'est que la première chose à faire, c'est de vous clarifier votre vision. C'est même pas vous qui allez avoir besoin de faire. C'est vous qui allez être attiré par votre propre vision. Vous n'avez plus besoin de vous demander quoi faire. Vous n'avez même plus besoin de vous demander comment vous faites pour vous rendre là. La réponse va toujours venir. Parce que ce que vous cherchez, vous allez le trouver. Si vous ne cherchez rien, vous ne trouverez rien. Ça marche dans ce sens-là aussi. Ces temps-ci, comme Nate l'a dit, on est dans une période qui est plus incertaine, qui est plus instable. Donc, automatiquement, qu'est-ce qui se passe avec la vision des gens? Elle diminue. Que vous le vouliez ou non. C'est devenu de plus en plus difficile à avoir une vision parce qu'on ne sait pas ce qui va se passer dans un mois. Jamais. On ne sait même pas ce qui va se passer la semaine prochaine, dans 2 mois, dans 6 mois, dans 1 an, dans 10 ans. Donc, ça devient encore plus important de setuper votre vision. Si vous faites ça, même s'il y a un arbre qui tombe sur votre chemin, vous allez savoir quoi faire. Vous l'évitez, puis vous reprenez le cap sur votre vision. Comme Nate le dit aussi, d'avoir une vision qui est... Moi, la manière de voir une vision infinie, c'est que j'ai toujours dit que j'allais être Pour certaines personnes, ça peut les servir. Pour certaines personnes, ça peut pas les servir. Mais la réalité, c'est que si je vise ça, c'est tellement haut que ça peut. Puis qu'est-ce qui se passe? À date, je le dis toujours, mais j'ai lamentablement échoué. Parce que présentement, je fais 10 fois moins. En fait, ça me prendrait 10 fois plus pour être legend. Donc, j'ai échoué. Mais regardez où je suis aujourd'hui, en plein cœur de mon échec. Comprenez-vous le principe? C'est pas l'atteinte d'un objectif qui est importante. C'est le processus. C'est le parcours. C'est l'élément que vous setez qui va vous faire foncer, qui va vous faire avancer vers cette vision-là. Vers failing forward. On a aussi parlé du véhicule. Quand vous êtes dans un auto, qu'est-ce qui se passe pour vous? Il ne se passe pas grand-chose. Je ne sais pas si vous êtes d'accord avec moi. Là. Moi, là, présentement, je vois juste Jess, Emily et Nate. Je ne sais pas si vous êtes d'accord avec moi. Il ne se passe pas grand-chose. Mais vous voyez les roues comme étant les pillars of belief. Ce qu'on essaie de faire demain, OK? Je peux vous garantir qu'on va réussir. C'est d'élever votre certitude envers l'équipe. Envers Prove It aussi. Parce que ce qu'on fait, on vous le dit souvent, mais vous ne réalisez pas à quel point. Oui, on a été coupé un petit peu, puis oui, avec la langue, mais ce qu'on fait, c'est qu'on fait exactement ce que Prove It fait. Envers le produit, ça, c'est un autre roue. Qu'est-ce qui se passe si vous n'avez pas de produit, si vous n'avez rien à vendre à la limite? Si vous n'avez pas, on va même le dire de cette manière-là, si vous n'avez pas d'idée pour poursuivre votre vision. Encore une fois, il vous manque des roues. Donc là, pillar of belief, qui tombe. Je pense que si vous êtes ici, comme Nate l'a dit, d'après moi, c'est pas ce pillar-là qu'on a besoin de travailler aujourd'hui. À la limite, la compagnie, vous la connaissez pas aussi bien que nous, on la connaît. C'est ce qu'on essaye de transmettre en élevant cette certainty, cette certitude-là. En gonflant vos roues un peu pour qu'ils soient les quatre équilibrés. Vous allez avoir vous, qui est le pillar of belief. Puis à la limite, là, OK, qu'il y en ait 3, qu'il y en ait 4, qu'il y en ait 6, je pense que vous comprenez le principe. Ce véhicule-là, ce qu'on a, Prove It, je vous le dis, pour avoir cherché pendant plusieurs années. Moi, mon 5 ans, je l'ai fait à l'extérieur de Prove It. Cette vision-là, ou le véhicule, on l'a. Là. Je veux juste que vous soyez certain d'une chose. Vous l'avez entre vos mains. Maintenant, c'est à vous de setuper la destination puis d'attirer le plus que vous pouvez. Comme le plus gros aimant au fucking monde. Puis à partir de ce moment-là, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Le succès va être inévitable. Nate a dit l'affaire des 5 ans. 5 years. C'est long, 5 ans. Mais si tu me dis, il y a 5 ans, ça fait 4 ans et quelques qu'on est dans Prove It, là. Il y a 5 ans, j'étais misérable, j'avais des crises d'anxiété parce que je manquais d'argent pratiquement, puis je savais pas où c'est que je m'en allais. Mais je savais que j'avais juste besoin de faire d'être dans l'action puis d'avancer. J'avais la vision qui me tirait. J'avais pas le véhicule, mais j'avais la vision. Si je vous dis que dans 5 ans, vous êtes là où j'en suis aujourd'hui, je vais vous garantir une chose. C'est que les 5 prochaines années de vos vies à grinder, à vous améliorer, à passer au travers des incertitudes, à passer au travers des doutes, je peux vous dire une chose, puis je termine là-dessus, ça en vaut la peine en tabarnak. 5 ans. C'est vraiment pas long, 5 ans, pour atteindre ce genre de niveau-là. La majorité des gens, tu leur demandes t'étais où il y a 5 ans, ils sont en quelque part, ils reposent la même question, puis posez-vous-la, cette question-là. C'est est-ce que vous êtes à la même endroit que vous étiez il y a 5 ans? Est-ce que vous voulez que les 5 prochaines années soient différentes, soient meilleures? Est-ce que vous voulez avoir avancé? Si la réponse est oui, alors il n'y a pas d'autre alternative. Faites votre possible pour que ça prenne moins de 5 ans. C'est tout. Par défaut ou par design. By the way, par défaut parce que ça vient par défaut. Il y avait des défauts là-dedans, mais je pense que vous comprenez le principe. Vous n'avez rien besoin de faire par défaut. Ça va arriver. Plus d'énergie, par exemple, puis de designer votre life, votre vie, votre vision vos rêves. Whatever. Fait que voilà pour le petit replay. Puis l'activité aussi, c'est de passer. Nate, it's 5 or 10 minutes alone with yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
5 or 10. So 5 à 10 minutes. OK, si vous voulez faire 15, si vous voulez faire une demi-heure, c'est encore mieux. Confrontez-vous à vos pensées. Puis quand les pensées avancent, là, forcez-vous à regarder la destination, à où vous voulez aller, à votre vision, à qui vous voulez devenir. Vous allez voir, il y a une partie de vos pensées que vous allez devoir laisser de côté. Laisser aller. Peut-être même une grosse partie. Moi, ce que je vous dis, c'est que regardez pas, peu importe que ce soit une petite ou une grosse partie de vous-même, de votre être, regardez-la pas partir. Ne vous attachez pas. Faites simplement la laisser aller. Et si vous allez vers votre vision, je peux vous garantir que chaque aspect de votre vie, chaque aspect de votre vie, je vais le répéter, chaque aspect de votre vie va s'améliorer. C'est principalement parce que vous refusez de laisser aller, puis on va ouvrir là-dessus demain matin, OK? C'est principalement là-dessus que vous devez comprendre que si vous laissez aller, vous mettez le premier pied dans la porte de vos rêves, dans la porte de votre vision. Ça n'en prend rien qu'un pour en mettre un deuxième, pour en mettre un autre, pour en mettre un autre. Puis oui, vous allez regarder la personne que vous étiez, vous allez comme faire « Oh my God, j'ai donc bien évolué dans les dernières années. » Let it go. La seule chose que vous accrochez, puis vous ne lâchez pas votre pinotte, c'est votre vision. All right, j'arrête l'enregistrement.